We are. It's now on.
Yours is on?
Mhm. We
Mine is
are.
that redirecting.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. So we are golden. We are good to go.
Whoa, yeah, we are live now and we are side by side. Hello,
Yay!
everybody. Woohoo. We are successfully live. Hi, everyone. Good morning from Singapore and good afternoon from Corina's place. How is everyone doing? Okay. Today's is our first speaker, Corina Taylor. She's Auntie Corina parenting coach. And she's doing parenting for 14 months to 4-year-old. And she shares about yelling and behavior part, which is part of parenting and how teaching parents how to deal with it. And yeah, let us welcome Corina.
Hey, everyone. Hi from just outside of Vancouver, Canada. And yes, it's just starting to be dinner time in this end of the world. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm all across the world right now.
That's great. Yeah, I'm excited too. So how do you get started with parenting for toddler to 14 months to 4 years old?
That's a great question. What I did is I used to run a family daycare in my home. I've always loved kids. I'm what they call a kid whisperer. Kids just come to me everywhere, and I just love them to pieces. So I spent a little over 15 years raising other people's kids so I could be home for my kids. And once online became kind of a thing, I started in an MLM, and then parents were asking me more about their kids than mascara. So I went, what am I doing? Don't. So here I am doing parenting coach because my specialty is sort of the 14-month to 4-year-old age. It's the predominant age group of my daycare, and I got very, very good at it. And I just think they're magical at that age anyway. So it made perfect sense.
I believe kids will love you a lot with your vibrant mood.
Yes.
Kids love that, yeah. And for today's topic, we are talking about how to get picky eater to eat without bribing.
Yes.
Right? So how do we get started with that, especially with toddler? Many of them are fussy eaters. Both my kids are. I remember there was one time where I was trying to feed my girl solid food. When she started it, it's like she puked everything out. She just puked everything out. Like, if you don't eat, I'm not going to feed you. So for the whole 6 hours, she literally doesn't want to open her mouth. I don't want to eat. So you say that you're not going to feed me? I'm not going to eat anyway.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so kids will do that. People forget how strong-willed kids can be when they are determined, and toddlers are just, that's all they got to do, man. So they get one idea in their head and they're sticking to it. They're kind of like a little train track. Kids are really amazing like that. So for me, a lot of times what I find is I don't want to turn meal times into a power game. There's no point. But we as parents or as human beings are very, very driven that we must feed our children. If we don't feed them and they don't eat, we're terrible parents and they're going to die. And they won't. I promise. I had my own son that went through a period of time when he was about 2, and he was just, I'm not eating. These lips are sealed. You cannot make me. I don't care how pretty you make it or how many airplane noises. It was not happening. And I kind of got into a power struggle with him. And I had a lot of kids in the daycare really kind of go, I'm not eating. Well, when you have 7 children around the same age, you don't have time to play around with, okay, have one night. So you kind of got to let yourself go, release yourself from the feeling that you're doing something wrong or feeling guilty if your child chooses, please note the word chooses, not to eat. I teach my parents that it is your job to offer the food and help them. It is their job to choose to eat it or choose to not. If they choose to not, I just put the food in front of them and then kind of, finger foods and stuff. And I just let them go. If you don't want to eat it, that's okay. But we sit at the table till everybody's done. So people say to me, what do you do? I said, I put the food in front of them and then I sit down beside them and start to eat my food. And I don't say anything. I actually do nothing, which is, a lot of people go, what do you mean you do nothing?
Yeah.
I do nothing. There's your meal.
I think it's very common where when the child doesn't eat, you get angry, you start yelling. It's like,
Yes.
You don't want to eat. Okay,
Yes.
I don't give you any food at all. So instead of
Right.
I still put the food there and see whether you choose to eat or not. It's great to give them a choice. Yeah, give them a choice whether you want to eat or you do not want to eat.
Yeah, because children have a lot of decisions that are made for them. And for a lot of kids, food is their way to have a little bit of say or a little bit of control in their lives. And what I always do is I always tell the kids, you can choose to eat or you can choose to be hungry. And this is even with 18, 20, 24-month-olds. It's a long time till snack time. But I always encourage them, they are not allowed to leave the table until the meal is done. A lot of times, if you just start talking about other things and what you're going to do later on after breakfast time is over, we get to, we're going to wash our hands and then we're going to wipe our face and then we get our toys out. We're going to do this. So we're going to go for a walk, and you kind of ignore the food thing. I find that it's a really great way, and you just keep eating, and then you say, you might want to occasionally go, that looks yummy. Did you try it? And if they go, you just leave it and you keep on with the conversation. You just keep offering it's like you would say to your friend, would you like some tea? No, thank you. Okay. And later on you might say, are you sure you don't want a cup of tea? And they'll go, thinking of it, that would be really nice. So I just use that in a simpler form or as simple for toddlers, and there's no fighting. So a lot of people say to me, like, so what do you do? I said, I do nothing. That's what I do.
That's superb. Yeah. And I think it's also part of us controlling our emotion. Instead of getting angry, we have to let it go.
It's not personal, okay? Your child is not suddenly not like you or not want to do what they're told. They are not suddenly being this, reflecting on you at all. Sometimes they're just not hungry. Sometimes they don't want to eat what you put in front of them. Also their choice.
That's
so
true.
I find by just offering it and not making a fuss about it is the best way to do it. So there's more to the tech to doing this. And if you like, I can continue on with that. But I want to check that you have any questions about that first.
Yeah, let's see. If you are watching, do let us know if you have any questions about how to do that, or what do we do with that when your child doesn't eat. All right.
Yeah.
There's Vienna over here watching. Hi, Vienna. And yep, no questions so far.
Okay, and if there are questions, I'll hop back in the group and kind of keep an eye out for a little while to see if there are any that come in later, because sometimes we're too busy watching and then we don't write our questions down and we're like, I should have asked.
Sometimes it's like you don't know what to ask. You don't know what to ask at that time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and for a lot of parents will feel like, okay, if you don't eat, I will try to, please eat this. If not, you don't have ice cream later or you don't have sweet. Mm-hmm. So some parents can't get that, that kind of emotion away where your child, leaving your child hungry.
But that's the thing, they aren't hungry. That's why they're not eating. They aren't hungry. You're telling them they're hungry. You see the difference?
Yeah, that's true.
You're telling them now you're hungry. So what I often tell parents is just calmly, just when say we're almost done dinner, are you all done? And the kids will go, yes. And I'll say, are you sure? It's quite a bit of time till snack time. I want to make sure your tummy's full enough so you can have lots of energy to play. So you see how I'm teaching them that check your body, do a personal check.
Yeah.
And if they say no, you go, okay, you're sure, right? I have to check. And you can even make a little face with it, and they kind of like, oh, okay. And you put it away. Wipe their face, wipe their hands. Okay, let's go play. Let's go do whatever. Chances are really high that your toddler will come back to you in about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm hungry. This is where the technique really matters. This is where you go, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You're hungry. Yeah, but remember how we talked at breakfast? How you said you'd had enough, and we checked your body to see if you'd eaten enough, and you said you did. So snack time's in another hour. So let's go and play, and then you can have snack time after playtime. And they may act as a fuss, and you can say, no, we don't get angry because you chose this. You decided you weren't, and that's okay. Snack time's coming. We're going to go do this. And if they continue to fuss, just stop saying anything. Just start doing something else and say, I'm going to go and color. Or you can go say, well, I guess you need to be angry right now, and that's okay. I'm going to go and start doing such and such. When you're not feeding into their tantrum and feeding into and letting them feel like they're winning, they're calling the shots, which is okay sometimes. But when it comes to food, we don't want to play that game because it can become really big problem, and we don't want that. So we just kind of say, okay. And then you can say, oh my gosh, we have 10 minutes to snack time. Would you like to come help get the table ready? Shall we go wash our hands? Do you want to help cut it up? And you make them involved. So it just takes all the fight out of it. You ignore it if they have a temper tantrum about it. You remind them they made the choice, and you offer them a snack at the next meal. So really, an hour and a half was all right. I've been doing this for decades, and I've had over 83 kids through my daycare. Not a single solitary one of them passed out from starvation in an hour and a half. Just saying.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's so simple, but it's very difficult to do. I'm not going to say it's easy. Yeah. But you have to decide as a parent, this is the right thing to do, because when you go out or you go to somebody's house, you're going to have them acting up and throwing their food and tantrums, and that's not acceptable. Correct. That's not the behavior we want our children to show. It's disrespectful. It's not acceptable. It doesn't teach them that there's a time and a place where we can choose, and a time and a place where we just kind of got to go with it. So there you go. That's my fancy, super secret
that's
technique.
Amazing. Yes, that's amazing. If I had known this in the past. I have the problem like, oh, what if my kid is like hungry? What if it's like they will have gastric pain? And what if like I don't feed them enough? That's the parent issue side.
Your brain talking.
Correct. Yeah. So we need to get over that.
Yeah.
So we need to get over that.
Stop and think. Okay, they haven't eaten all night, so chances are they're pretty hungry in the morning. This usually happens around lunch or dinner where you get the most fussing. But know that with toddlers, you feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you have morning snack, afternoon, and last before bed. At least in my world in North America, that's how I did it. So I know that there's only going to be about an hour and a half or 2 hours. The tummy upset will be a growly tummy of being very hungry. But that's it. That's all that will happen. And they will quickly recognize they're going to eat really well the next meal. They really well.
Are there cases where the next meal
and then praise them,
they still do not want to eat? Are there cases where during the next meal they still do not want to eat, even though they're hungry?
Mm-hmm. Now they're trying to make you guilty. Now they're like, I am just gonna make a point and I am gonna be stubborn. And that's okay too. You are not feeding them. You are not offering them. You are providing them the food that they can eat or not eat. Up to them. It's not your decision whether they actually put food in their body. I mean, when they're infants, it's different, right? But when we're starting to teach our kids these things of consequences, of choice making, it can start with something as small as you choose to eat or you choose to be hungry. it helps to create really thinking adults and thinking, your children start to think that, oh, if I don't wear my coat, I'm cold. Oh, what a concept. I don't want to wear my rubber boots when it's raining out. I've got wet, yucky feet. My socks are squishy. Yuck. So we teach our kids one step at a time in small steps and staying very clear, very calm. Otherwise, they'll go, I can make mommy crazy. You can make mommy crazy. Hey, to the little sister, what's this? Watch mommy go crazy. So yeah, don't make a fight about it. It's not worth it. They will eat when they are hungry, and you are doing the right thing by offering it, by suggesting it, by checking that they've checked their body. You're doing everything right. And if they don't want to eat, next meal. And if they don't want to eat, next meal. Chances are kids will be done after about 2 meals. Like they'll go, maybe they won't want their lunch, but by dinner, boy, they'll be hungry.
Yeah, that's for sure. A natural human body will feel hungry at least a few hours later.
Yeah. And you just offer what you're eating for dinner. Same thing. It's good for kids. They need to eat what you're eating. And I used to say to them, because sometimes I don't like it. I'm like, well, those aren't my favorite either, but they make my body strong. So I eat them.
Yeah.
I said to them, I love cake. If I ate cake all the time, how healthy would I be? Would I have these muscles? And they go, oh no. So use some humor with it too. Make your meal times fun. Try to engage. You don't want to teach them to play with their food. Like sometimes just putting your fork and pressing the fork into the food, or the spoon, scoop it and then put the spoon down, kind of gives them that suggestion that, ooh, we could put this in our mouth. What a good idea.
That's great. That's a good idea, because we always forget about that. We just so focus on trying to get them to eat. We forgot the humor part of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, humor goes a long way to diffusing situations, from keeping them from getting out of hand. It's just, you have to be a little creative, and it feels weird at first, but with practice, you'll get it.
Correct. Yes, we have one comment coming in. My son is starting to be picky when he grow older. He's 7 years old now. Maybe it's his exposure now, and maybe my cooking was not so nice. I found he is more skinny now. Is there any way I can encourage him to eat more variety, because he chooses few food to eat only?
Okay, that's really common, and that's a wonderful question that thousands and thousands of parents have. I used to have a rule in my house. When my children were introduced to new foods, I'd give them, for example, we had colored peppers, red, green, yellow. I cut 3 pieces, but each piece was that big and half that size, and they needed to eat it. It was required before they left the table. And I did it for 10 to 15 days. And I just said, no, when you're done that, so you can eat it first, kind of get it out of the way, and they get the rest of the meal that they prefer. We're not horrible, but you require them to finish it. And they stay at the table until they do. Because it takes children 10 to 15 times, sometimes 20, to decide if they like it. Now, my sons love peppers. We're not a fan of the green ones, but they will eat all the rest, where before wasn't going past their lips. There was a little lock on their lips. So offer the food in a very, like 1 or 2 tastes, because you don't want to overwhelm them with this bowl full of something they don't like. That's not going to do anything. That's just going to get you into a fight, battle of wills. We don't want that. Just offer their food and then say, we have something new. We're all going to try a brand new food today. Now, if you don't sure if you like it, we need to try it, and then we eat the rest of our supper if you really kind of want to get it out of the way. Otherwise, you can eat it after all your dinner's done, or in the middle, but we can't leave the table till we've tried the new food. But I know you can do this. That's it. You're done talking about it. Done. Move on. right? You talk
Nice.
about whatever their day, and if they're done and they do this, you can just say, oh, uh-oh, oh no, spaghetti-o, or make a little something. Oh, you forgot. Oh my goodness, what are you gonna do? What do we talk about? What do you need to do? And then what gets to happen? Note, it's getting away from the table. It's not, well, if you eat this thing you don't like, I'm gonna give you a cookie. No, we want our children to have a wide variety of foods for nutrition, for having a wonderful palate, that they can go anywhere and eat anything and enjoy the beauty of food that comes in so many shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this after about 10 days and they're still really, really not getting it, then you stop. But you don't tell them, oh, you don't like that, you don't have to have it. But then you introduce something new. And maybe in 2 weeks or a month, you try it again. Kids' taste buds, that's it, your taste buds. They evolve and they change.
I agree.
So that's my recommendation. Just keep offering, especially at 7 years old. They are very aware and they're very, very intelligent. And you can easily say, when you're done, when you've tasted those three little tiny bites, or that 1 or 2 bites, I wouldn't do more than 3, but definitely a minimum of 2. Because sometimes the first one feels kind of, and if they make face, you go, how does that feel in your mouth? What does that flavor taste like? You can make it like, let's have an experiment. Let's have an adventure. Oh, we're gonna have an adventure. Okay, you take a bite and I'm gonna take a bite. And then I wanna tell you, first let's say, what does it smell like? And then what does it feel like? And then let's have a lick on it. Ooh, that tastes kind of neat. That's different. So you can make an adventure out of it for kids that are really, right? And you can model that behavior. Oh, we're having this, not my favorite food. I don't really like it, but I know it's gonna make my body strong. So those are the things that you can do. You see how I can just go on for hours on this. But in the end, it's about bringing in humor, about being very firm. It's loving firmness that this needs to happen, and following through. It's super important that we as parents don't set ourselves in a position where we're backed ourselves into a corner. Start small. Start with, you choose not to eat, you choose to be hungry. When they're older, you can say, if you are, you need to eat these 3 tastes or 2 tastes, then you may leave the table. No. That's your choice. You can choose not to eat it, but you're staying at the table until you do.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. And then the family can go on and do something that's more interesting, and they'll miss out. And they'll come off and they'll come look, oh, did you finish? No. Table. And then go back to what you're doing, or escort them if you need to. No, you need to come sit down. When you choose to finish those, quicker you eat it, quicker you're done. And then continue on doing something that's a little more interesting, whether it's playing a game or just doing something that you know they might be curious about.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do it all the time. I turn my back, be like this, and I'm doing something here. And the kids would kind of see what I'm doing, but not really. Oh, this is really neat. Oh, wish, Jason was there with us. Maybe he will soon. And then I keep going. So I play the game, right? This is when they were 3 and 4. So you can play a game with things. You make that, you eat together, and you have these foods together, and you express with amongst one another, oh, that was really delicious. That was so nice. Never had that really young. No, that was new, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So it just encourages the dialogue about making food friendly, about not getting it where kids are now only eating 3 things and their health is suffering. And that's not good. So yeah.
Totally
Also,
agree.
when your kids are hungry, they will eat more. So if your child is only eating a little bit, don't feed them 2 hours before the next meal. That'll help too.
Oh yeah.
Hungry.
Make sure they're hungry.
Mm-hmm. It makes a big difference.
A lot of the part of this thing, what we are doing is also being firm. Being firm on how they should eat and what they should eat, instead of like giving in all the time.
No, that just creates children that don't have that safety of knowing this is what's expected of me. If we drive a car and we choose to not follow the rules, we get in trouble. We get tickets. There's a consequence. Our job as parents is to give our children these rules, so to speak, these boundaries, so they can feel safe and know exactly where it ends, so they can grow and become these amazing little beings. If we don't give them boundaries, they get lost and afraid. You get a lot of behaviors, and it's just a mess. It's a mess. The calmest, happiest, most content children are the ones that know exactly what will happen. I throw my food on the floor and scream, I'm done dinner. If I throw my toy at my friend, I lose my toy and I sit time out. It's just very clear things that is our responsibility as parents to lovingly, firmly, using natural consequences. This is what I teach in my course. Natural, like if you don't eat, you're hungry. If you don't wear your coat, you're cold. Or logical ones like if you throw your toy, you're going to need to sit time out. I'm telling them what's not acceptable and what the result will be. So that's logical consequences. And I go into a lot of depth with this in my parenting course.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just now, the person who asked the question mentioned that when he is in daycare, he can eat whatever the daycare provide.
Aha, yes.
So I realized that kids tends to behave differently when they're in the school and when they are at home. So some parents struggles with that.
Yeah. And I hear that a lot too. So my thing is, and I say this when we have a lot of divorced families now, they're separated, and I teach them mommy's house, mommy's rules. Daddy's house, daddy's rules. The rules at daycare, these are the rules at mommy's house or at mommy and daddy's house. Period. That's it. And I know it sounds like I'm oversimplifying, but parenting has become so overcomplicated. And it's not. It's actually remarkably simple. What's difficult is following through 100% of the time. 100%. I can't stress that enough. You give in once, and you got your kid to here, and you go to here to match them, and you give. Next time, instead of being here, you got to go to here, and then you got to go to here. That's too much work. I'm lazy. I don't want to work that hard.
Yeah, totally. I guess because there are so much information out there, some parents are feeling overwhelmed with all the information. So which is why it gets complicated nowadays.
It does. There's too much, and too many people are getting their in North America, again, because I don't know what it's like in Asia, we have a lot of people that will phone the protection service for children to say they were shouting at their child. And there's a time where this is very appropriate and they should be called. But I've also had many experiences where the parent is standing there going like this to their child with their hand on their hip, saying, that is not okay. You don't hit your friend. And they're getting phone calls and they have people knocking on the door saying, we heard that you were yelling at your child. So that's why I know, isn't it awful? It's terrible. It's shameful. They should be ashamed of themselves. But I find that because I've worked with the Ministry of Children and Families and I follow the guidelines from the daycare and I take a little bit of old-fashioned no nonsense, thank you very much, I've learned how to blend the two so that no matter where you are or what you're doing or who's around, nobody can ever look at you and say, you shouldn't do it that way. So it's a very positive, very hands-off for the most part. It's a very loving, clear, and it works every time if you follow through, if you don't waver, and if you do it with 100% consistency.
Yeah, the consistency and the follow through, it's the part that we all can't commit to. I mean, most of the parents nowadays, because due to the busy schedule and things like that, sometimes you allow, sometimes you don't, due to my schedule, then things doesn't get consistent at all.
So a suggestion that I make for any parent, no matter what the behavior, pick one behavior, one thing that you're going to work on. So in this one, I would say we're only going to work on them choosing to eat or choosing not to eat. That's all we're going to work on until that problem is over. And it shouldn't take more than a week tops. If you're not doing a week, you guys need to be in touch with me, and I'm just going to have to learn you the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, she mentioned it. Thanks. I need to try again and again. I'm trying to cut the veggies smaller so he can take it.
Good.
Right.
Yay. Well done.
Update us, Vienna, how it goes. Make sure at
Yes.
least 15 days, 10 to 15 days.
Yeah, it takes time. You're not leaving the table until it's done.
Yeah.
My nieces were horrible eaters, and we went through this, and it didn't take long.
Wow.
And they were 10. They were like 7 and 10. They were awful. I don't like that. I don't want that. Oh my goodness. No, they eat everything, and they went from eating tiny little bits to eating as much as their dad does. It's crazy because it's just what you do. It's supper time.
Oh yeah.
You eat.
Oh yeah, they model their parents as well, right? I mean,
They
children
do.
model what we eat. So if we don't eat, they don't eat.
Exactly.
But we also, because like, for example, if I do not like vegetables, so I don't feed them vegetables. So when they're out and they're supposed to eat vegetables, they do not want to eat.
Exactly. And how is that going to do them well as they are adults? Sometimes we don't realize we're not raising children, we're raising adults.
Yeah, we have to switch a bit of our mindset.
Yes.
You mentioned about your course on how to teaching parents to handle all this. What does your course include? And can you tell us more about your course?
I'm so proud of my course. It is 30 years of experience that I have compiled into basically a crash course in parenting.
Oh.
It's a crash course in parenting, and it is truly like other people are just telling me it's amazing. And it is a 4-week one-on-one crash course that goes deeper than just the behavior. It gets to the root of the problem as to why your kids are acting out, and and what to do about it and how to talk to them about it to really get them to do what it is that you really need them to do, which is not throw a tantrum in the middle of the grocery store and not to break grandma's china and things like that. So I do a lot of that, and I do it through weekly, about 20-minute calls from the safety and comfort of your own home. And you can do it while we just chit chat, and we can go over issues like tantruming or bedtime struggles or screaming or kids are hitting or whatever it is. And I've got all that it's all set out, or which people are really loving is that they can kind of customize what they want and deal with the issues they want. So if you're really having trouble with your kids eating or staying in bed, that's what we can work on. But here's the best part. Oh, this is the part that gets me so excited. I love this part. I do. It's my favorite part, that basically 7 days a week, you can access me through text or voice message. So it's so awesome, because if you're in the middle of supper time and they're losing it, you can hit the little message and go, "It's Corina. What do I do? They're screaming. I've done this. I've done that." And what I do is I just kind of coach you through it. I tell you, all right, let's take a breath. This is not about you. I get you back on what we had talked about and the plan we had laid out, just like I did. You guys got a mini coaching session today for free. Yay! And I do that just with you. So it's very private and supportive. I'll urge you. You are already doing the best you can with what you've got. My job is not to say you're doing everything. My job is to say you're doing great. Let's add this, because I think that might be the little you're missing. That's what I do. And it makes such a difference being able to, talk to me almost in real time. Mm-hmm. So that to me, that's the best part. The whole thing is the best part.
Wow, it sounds great. It's like, a lot of time parenting is pretty lonely. Because
It
you're
is.
just facing the kids, and then your kids are not
Mm-hmm.
listening. It's like, who do I go to? If I go to
Mm-hmm.
someone else, I don't know whether that person, how's the person going to judge me? So parents are afraid of being judged as well. So
Very
they
much.
don't have anybody to go to. If I go to
Exactly.
friends, my friends don't understand my situation. So you kind of
And
lost.
yeah, and your moms and mother-in-laws are great, but sometimes we just want help without telling everybody.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need somebody to vent to say, I'm having this awful day and I just can't stand my kid. And they're being horrible. And why am I even a mom? And they tell me these things. And I say, I get it because I've been there. That's why that being able to text me or voice message me is the pivotal, crucial part in my program that makes it different from anyone else. If you need to message me and you're in tears, that's okay. I'll hear you. I'll listen to you. And if you're messaging me when you are furious with your child, that's what I want. I want you to in the nitty gritty. That's what we want.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct.
So yeah, it's really great. So it is, because I've just added a whole bunch of goodness to it. I have an introductory special price for everybody. So, but just till the end of September, and then it goes up. So right now it's $997, and you get 4 one-on-one calls and 7-day-a-week, voice messaging support to calm you down, let you vent, get you focused, get you back on track, get that confidence up so that you can get your kids behaving the way you need, and your life will be easier. You'll have more time to connect with your kids because you're not always disciplining them, right?
Yeah.
And you can enjoy being with your family, and you're going to have a deeper connection with your kids. You're also going to have a better connection with your spouse because you're not always saying, oh my gosh, the kids were awful today. You can now spend time enjoying each other instead of, oh, Joey was jumping off the couch again and he broke this, and right? So that's what it is. So it's $997 until September the 30th, and then it goes up to $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah, so you need to get in on this now.
If you need any support, assistance for kids 14 to 4 years old, 14 months to 4 years old, look for Auntie Corina. Where else can we find you if they need some guidance or just like maybe reaching out?
Oh, well, I'm easiest found on Facebook. That truly is. Just go find Auntie, Auntie, Corina, parenting coach, or you guys see my name here, click on my name and it'll take you to my profile, and just hop in the private message, send me a message going, save me from my toddler, and I will come to the rescue.
That's a great one.
And I do have a parenting group, for everyone. And it's, we'll put the link in and all the links in. And I do live coaching like this every Friday at 1:00, Vancouver, Canada time, Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And it's free. It's always free. There's tons of information in there. The group has been really growing suddenly, which is wonderful. So I offer oodles and oodles of free trainings. Once a month, I do a 3-day workshop that's a little more intensive and a little more involved. But yeah, it's amazing in there. I just love being able to give you guys as much information as I can and get you guys parenting easier. So it can be fun, and parenting can be, the way they always said motherhood was supposed to be, all this awesomeness. I get you there.
Yeah.
Really.
Totally. Yes. That's why we are doing what we are doing now.
Yes.
We're just trying to we are trying to help whoever needs help there, or support.
Exactly.
Yeah. The support.
Absolutely.
And having feeling that there's someone out there who can listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to bottle everything up. Yeah. Even
exactly.
when you are frustrated, you have no one to call, go to our group, type it out.
Corina. Yes.
When you type it out, you also feel like, okay, you're releasing all the negative energy.
It is very important. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. I'm very much about in touch with my intuition. So I use that, and it sounds like you do too. I'm kind of getting that feeling from you. my little
Yes.
spidey senses are going, that, it's an energy, and we can turn these energies. And sometimes just writing out, you don't even have to hit post. Just writing it gets that out, and we can look at it and make decisions.
Correct.
And make the choices that we need, that's in the best interest of not only ourselves, but our family and our children.
Correct. Yes, it helps a lot. Even if you feel like, okay, you want to post, but you are afraid of everybody seeing your post, you can always like private messages.
Yes.
We will
You will
read the messages.
never, ever be judged. We welcome you. We welcome you with the most open of arms and hearts, always.
Yeah, totally. I have one parent who used to cry and message me, and then she was like saying that, why I can find no one to talk to, why I can find no one to express my feelings to, why everyone is telling me what to do. But you are messaging me, so you are releasing all the negative energy, so let it go, so let it flow out. And then after that, she was like, I feel so much better now.
Yes.
It's like, okay, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
No, it's a spa for the brain. I always say when you journal or you write, it's like, I used to call it a shower for my brain, but now I call it a spa.
It's the adult tantrum.
Yes.
Our way of tantrum. Yeah, just want to release it out.
Yeah, and that's good. We should have times and space to release that. We should not keep it all in, because it bottles up and our children feel that energy and it just goes sideways.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Totally. Right. Thank you, Corina, for joining us over here. So honored to have you here.
My honor.
Yes, we have a fan here feeling so good now. She said that there's a new code for me to keep consistent now. And the code is eat or not eat. That's it.
I love it. Yes. Way to go.
Vienna, do let us know how it goes.
I absolutely want to know. I need to know that. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Yay. I feel like we've had a huge win with that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Great. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching the replay, do let us know. Type in a comment. You're watching the replay. If you have any questions for Corina, do type in there as well. Yes, I will update her if there is any questions. It's due to a different time zone, maybe different timing that the comments come in. So yep. Okay, I saw the comment moving. Yeah, she said, thank you so much.
Hugs and kisses.
Yay.
Hugs. It's wonderful. It's been such an honor, and thank you so much for bringing me on and allowing me to share my strategies and my techniques that I use and have honed over all these years, and just being able to share what I do, how I do it, and the areas that it's in. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much. You are just a gem.
I'm feeling grateful and blessed that you're willing to share with us and sharing with us on what you do. And getting more info out for the parents who need more support. Yes, absolutely. All of us focus on different things. So we're a community. We got to do it together. We have to do it together, and sharing all the information so that they know who to go to when they need the support. Exactly. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Do remember, if you are watching the replay, do type in the replay and send us the love. The love. Okay, I'll see you soon. Let me check out how do I. Okay, wait, there's a slight delay on my Just hit end video or something. Hang on, I think I end the live. Yeah, I was looking for the end live on the Facebook. Let me see. They're organized. All right. Yes, we're off from the Facebook. That was awesome. You did awesome. How do you feel? Fun. Oh, I had so much fun. Oh my gosh. So much fun. You are
wow, I am so glad we connected. You are a remarkable woman. Wow,
I'm glad you
your group
enjoy.
is so lucky to have you. Oh my goodness,
But
so
sometimes I still
wonderful.
feel the group is like very quiet. It's hard to get people to like hype up.
They're listening, and they watch. Don't kid yourself. They're looking. Yeah, so you may want to tag everybody in your group underneath the live and just encourage them to have a boo. I tag everybody. I'm awful.
Yeah. I was told
Somebody
I'm
said,
supposed to tag.
yeah,
But
they were
sometimes
like,
I feel
please, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like guilty to tag everybody.
Nope.
Like, am I disturbing?
You're in my group for a reason. If you don't want to be here and get what's going on, bless and release.
Agreed.
I had 30 people leave my group a week ago, or no, 2 weeks ago, because I said I'm changing things and I may not be for you right now. I'm focusing on toddlers. You may have kids that are older. And I had all these people leave. And in 2 days, I've had 12 people join my group already. So I look at it as people that when you release, makes room for those who really need you.
Yeah.
So it's just a changing of energy that now I'm just embracing and opening my world up to people who have toddlers.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Yeah, I have been changing as well. I used to do parenting from to all the way to teens. But I find that it's too wide a gap.
It is. It's huge.
It's huge. So I was thinking like I would just focus on how to get the parents, how to educate parents to educate their children. It's more on the academic side. So which is why I'm trying to bring in parents of different expertise to share with those parents. Whoever need your help, they will just go to your group. While I'll focus on what I do.
Awesome.
Yeah. Some parents, some parenting coach that ask me, why are you doing this? Yeah, bringing people out. I say, but this is a community, like what you mentioned. Everybody helps everybody. And I can't handle everything.
No.
I can't handle everything. So I want to focus on what I do so that I won't neglect those who needs help as well. So,
and like this morning when I was talking to my other interviewer, she was saying, I said, if you resonate with me, if you feel like I'm the right person for you, awesome. And, or if you don't, keep looking for somebody that feels right, that you could work with. I'm not for everybody. I'm a pain in the butt sometimes. And that's okay. Somebody may need somebody who's very calm and that's not me. I can get people calm. I'm very good at doing that, but I am an energetic person and I parent energetically and I live my life energetically. So that's what makes it. You could put 10 parenting coaches that all deal with toddlers and everybody's going to pick a different one.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the same person for everybody. And that's what I really encourage. It has to feel right to you. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
That's true. Yeah. I prefer an energetic person. Yeah. It brings out the mood. So a lot of parenting coaches I talk to is like, they're very serious.
Oh no. That's true. I'm not that la-di-da.
So that, okay. But I need to look for someone who is very hypo. Because I used to teach a 6 months old. Over here, 6 months old babies start going to school.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like really like what you hear about tiger mom stories from Asia. It's like parents here are very, very into academic. Yeah. So they start training the babies very young. And they are focusing so much on academic, they forget about the parenting part.
Well, this is a perfect blend because kind of wish I'd said it, but in hindsight, if I known that, I tell people all the time that parenting is a skill that, I think I did say it, where we don't stick people into a car and say, go drive.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't do that. So why are we handing people children and saying, go figure it out? Like, it's silly.
Correct.
You should have lessons on how to raise children. They're the most important thing you're ever going to do is raise this adult because they're going to be looking out for your society and you when you're older. So you better do a good job.
That's true. Yeah, that's why just now you mentioned like we're not raising children, we're raising adults.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the part that I like as well. It's like you're not someone who will control
No,
another person's life.
no,
You're
you
only
don't want to
providing,
control it.
yeah, you're providing guidance,
Yes.
leading them along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not controlling them. Okay, I want you to be a doctor next time. So I am going to groom you now until you become a doctor.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And I mean, the word discipline, when I say discipline your children, I always tell people discipline actually means to guide and to teach. So that's our job. When you have children, that's your job, is to guide and teach your children. You know,
True.
with clear, loving, firm boundaries.
Totally.
I wonder if I should use that as a tagline.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah, no kidding, hey? I say it all the time. It's in all my scripts, in all my marketing, everything.
You should use it.
I do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this has been amazing, and I am so enjoyed. Oh, I hope we can do something again in the future. You are awesome.
Thank
I
you
would
so
love.
much.
Yeah, I really enjoyed you. You were just so easy to talk to. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to be like relaxed and not like the class. I don't want to be like a classroom and say, okay, what is it? What must you do? What can you do? So, no, that kind of thing is like, I won't watch. I won't watch.
Yeah, I know. It's too boring. Go sleep. That's boring.
Yeah.
But when they watch you or they watch me, they're never bored. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you wanted to go over, or?
I think, no, that will be
Okay.
great. And then,
Awesome.
yeah, I'll be doing the recording. I'll put snippets of it on my page or on my Instagram.
Okay.
And then some of your info there, and then see whether anyone will like join your group and things like that, or anybody asking questions, then I'll direct them to you.
Yeah, no problem. So do you want me just to put the links in the, it's easier for me to just tag the links in the comments of where to hop in the group, or where to be able to message me if you want me to do that. Otherwise, I'm good not to. That's fine.
I can put that in for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I can put that in for
Thank you.
because I don't want people to feel that you're trying to sell in there. You get what I mean? If you put in there, people may think that, yeah, this person is trying to sell.
Awesome. That is fantastic.
I will put it there for you. It's like I'm indirectly trying to help you with that.
Yes. Good.
Yep.
So smart.
I'll put that for you. No worries.
Not just a pretty face. Smart as all the dickens too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So I think we're good then. We're all done then. Awesome.
If there's any idea or any other new ideas coming up on collaborations or whatever, I'll let you know. If you have any, let me know. Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. You take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah. And you have a wonderful evening.
I will. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
You.
Bye.
Bye.